I just called Ominous. Classy restaurant. No, Ominous is a classy one. Which one is the family one in town? Woody's, that's the most popular, and that's classy too. Unfortunately. But the family one in town is Aladdin's. Fine dining, fine wine, fine dessert, huge portions. Awesome. Vegetarian, vegan, and meat lovers alike. First, you have to know what to order in this cuisine. You're going to get a lot of shaved meat, flavorful, and some grain. That's quite usual. They call that souvlaki in Greece. Even lamb. And they do make little pies out of it. Not my favorite. Unless it's a deep fried pie. That's what I like. The baked Spanish pies. I suppose that's what my mother loves. The fried kiwi with the beef in the center, honestly, it's like hors d'oeuvres are actually what you are after. Hummus. Divine. I don't know how they do that. I've made hummus many times. Never turns out that creamy. And with the oil on top and that fresh pita bread to dip right in. Now, me and my mother's favorite, another loser on their menu, lentil soup. They make yellow lentil soup with a little hint of lemon. It is divine. So comforting. Always the right temperature. A bowl or a cup, it's hard to say. It's filling. It feels beautifully hearty. And now, tabbouleh is not my favorite thing to order. My favorite salad is the fattoush. It comes with the croutons as fried slivers of pita bread. And it's kind of a little bit soft still, mainly crunchy, very oily, croutonish. That just makes the salad so succulent. They are very traditional with their dressing. Oil, vinegar, whatevs. Because of Greece. That's how they do it in Greece. And let me see, they're what's that called? The chocolate brown fried lentils? Baked lentils. That's pretty good as a main dish. But their sandwiches are stellar. The eggplant, they have like baked eggplant in their sandwich. I don't know, maybe you want the baba ganoush on it that's made from eggplant. Looks like a hummus tahini sauce. I need tahini. I like it zesty and sharp. Now, if you want it without meat or cheese, they got a lot. And the desserts are honey or the pistachios and the honey in any kind of arrangement. Of course, the delicate filo dough is really their best. And you can order from some of these restaurants massive amounts of domestic homemade cheese and feta and olives, gourmet olives in bulk amounts for a family. Some Middle Eastern restaurants, they'll have Spanish cheese that's quite mild. Let me see. Cheese curd is hard to find. Real cheese curd. No one wants that except me and my dad. But enough about cheese, because you can do it. You can eat that falafel sandwich. They call it a sandwich. It's really a wrap. They call it shawarma, actually. And from my experience working in the Moroccan cafe on the East Coast, um, was that where I got almonds from? They have delicious Moroccan tea in silver teapots and glasses, painted glasses, fleur-de-lis stained glass. Tiny, beautiful. But you get the whole teapot served hot. And this restaurant I'm going to, Aladdin's tomorrow, has a Turkish coffee. Now I hear shut up about it. We want this to be a private venue. Well, maybe you can call for reservations on the weekends. They want a full restaurant, and if they do have a waiting area, a lot of people will probably just walk because it seems like they want it to be nice and quiet with lots of conversation music and occasional belly dancers hired. Classes available for those women. It's a club. I want to go someday and just show up the first day, interrupt, and ask politely, explain. I already had classes on the East Coast. I just need to know where to order the clothes, especially if it's a butterfly in front. Beaded. But really anything. And they'll possibly supply me with a website or something, and I'll be on my way. I've been invited before, and this restaurant is special. This maitre d' looks like some sort of villain from Aladdin's talking to the genie, pathetic, wilting, cowering over every statement, hesitant and yet poised, elegant and graceful. He attends to everyone just the right amount, with immense amounts of respect on both sides. He's usually always there, and he always puts me and my mother up front with her wheelchair. I don't think it's even a question. And me and my mother, that's my favorite place, to drink soup and pita, and they charge like $2.50 for the soup, $5 for a wrap, $10, $8, $7 for a meal, $12, $13. And it depends on how much food you want, because you can get massive portions. But if you want it spicy, ask for unusual spice, not just spicy hot. What has unusual spice that has the flavor to it? And for that, I'm not really well schooled on the meat. I'm trying to get vegetarianism. We ruined the last visit there by not liking where we were going, because the granddaddy and the party insisted on Chinese. And I'm like, no, the uncle is a vegan. I'm taking you back to last year's restaurant. And then we could tell the waiter was disappointed. We had a huge party and we had fun, so I don't see we should be disappointed, except for they don't tip him as much as I would. At least one time Mark brought me there. It was after I had been homeless. I bought a huge dream meal, everything I wanted. All the appetizers. Me and Mark sat there. I paid for the meal myself and gave him a $20 tip. That was after the event of me and my mother having a distress meeting in an empty restaurant that both of us could have killed for that. And I was dressed very badly, very dirty, clean sweatshirt, stained, that I just falsified pregnancy with when she picked me up with a big pillow I had perhaps left in the car. She took a second trip after that to buy me a nice coat. And I was perhaps going homeless in the winter in Michigan. I could have gone to California easily, had a wonderful time, would have got a child that I was leaving and a mother to take care of him. I would have been heartbroken. I couldn't have done California the same way. So I stayed in Michigan in that winter. I found a place eventually. I had some offers, some attempts, but honestly I settled down with my best friend Dimitri. We had a gay old time of it, except for certain media mess ups that I can account for making a lot of sense later. I don't know if Tori Amos is so very perfect to try out inorganic levels of songhood without her piano. That is the main point of Tori Amos. It was so improv. They thought they'd try it, and there was just so much argument about it. It made it very hard for the artist to perform for us. And she did pull off trusting and even magnificent songs, and yet somehow it was terrible. Can't do that to Tori Amos. Besides which, that horror movie I saw, there's a name for it, it's popular, didn't have that version where Jesus was at the bottom of hell in some sort of crown of thorns pointing inwards. And my suggestion was to flamethrow that entire area, just kill all of them. It was, after all, a horror movie, and by the end of it, I was laughing. I just wasn't aware that that movie was like that. And I'm an atomist. I really trust in exact files. If you need exact files back, please research release date. Okay? You'll get to it. My suggestion, if the file seems a little bit too magnificent, hold off on it for a while. You'll know when to bring it back to normal levels of amazement. Even if you do remember it exactly, it just somehow hit its pinnacle. And if they're playing with the levels and you're a little early, you still can recover it. What is the glitch anyway, handled by these masters? You'll sense whether or not you have to press pause and wait for it, or stop it entirely, or just blow through it. It'll be better. Just trust yourself, and other tapes I found ruined can be recovered, all of them, and it takes a while after the disturbing event to discover why they were like that. Such as Bella Fleck, or some such awesome blues band. No, it's blues. I bought it for my father, I just knew it was highly respected. And then I gave it to him. It wasn't them. And I'm like, what is this? And my dad's like a monk and a priest. And I researched it after the fact in high amount of stress, thinking, oh my Lord, what is going on? And they told me that that version would be good for him playing the piano with it, which would be great for him. That's what he loves about blues. And I thought, but that's not them. And then I found them, and I'm like, well, maybe not for my dad. So I don't know. I told my dad not to listen to them, but I didn't give him the explanation. Maybe someday, after I get given them that gift, I'm sorry. It's gonna be alright. It's I could count right now, at least, on one handful the amount of disorders that caused stress. Like, real amount of, like, oh my Lord, what the fuck? Okay, I'll end